Good morning. I mean, for those who don't know me, probably there are not too many people like that in the room, but maybe some of that. And my name is Gábor Varga. So this is Progress Report 6 for all the fellows and Complex Exam 1, and hopefully the last one, for almost everybody. It is not for everybody because there are a few fellows who already passed this actually earlier than who started PhD earlier, or they already had a PhD degree, and actually we have some exceptional cases when they were in a different scheme, so therefore we don't have to fill up the complex exam forms, but they do the same thing for the project report. I would remind the fellows for the vision and also introduce a little bit for those colleagues who came only for this occasion. So the Center of Translational Medicine was founded at Semmelweis University in 2021. So you are the first one, actually the fellows here are the first one who take a complex exam. And then the program was set with the vision that we want to put science into healthcare. So at a philosophical level, I would say that this program is not only about, publishing papers and getting certificates and so, but also do something for the community. And then when you do this for the community, at the same time, you grow. And actually, so this is actually a multilateral, I would say, that benefit. Benefit for the fellow, benefit for we hope for the tutor, benefit for the center, benefit for the university, and at the end, hopefully, this is going to be a benefit for the society too. So why do we do this? As we know, there are lots of data out, lots of clinical data, good clinical data, which are actually not really applied in clinical practice. These are data from 2016, and in that year, so that is way before COVID, in 2016, 1.7 million people died under the age of 75 in the European Union. And as the statistics shows, 1.2 million of this could be saved either by giving a better treatment, actually the right treatment, and the treatment was already there. So the information was already there but not applied. And additionally, in a wider actually scale, we could be prevented by prevention programs. So there is a lot to do. These people, or most of these people, shouldn't die. And actually, this is you, who is going to achieve this, decrease the numbers. As we look at the statistics, the bad news is for Romania. Since Professor Crosar is here from Romania, that you and Hungary are actually very close. As we see here, that these are the Romanian statistics and those are the Hungarian, so we are just about the same level. And the other end is actually France and the Netherlands. Then they do that somewhat better, but not much better, I have to say, not much better. So there is a lot to do for us. And this is one of the major drive, actually, for doing this translational research, to really bring science to the society, not only for the medical treatment, but for the prevention programs. We have to reach actually people. And there are many programs like this that I just. But before saying that, so this was the thing which initiated actually Professor Peter Hegyi. That was about 10 years ago when he actually laid down the idea of accelerating this translation of the already available clinical data to healthcare, and in the meanwhile actually do a wide range education of many clinicians, so those who deal with clinical stuff. And he got lots of very strong, very high-fly scientist partners at the Academy of Europe. And then actually the essence of the program has been published first in 2021 in the Journal of Clinical Medicine. And again, the essence is this circle. I mean, and then what we try to accelerate. I mean, healthcare science, knowledge, communication. Healthcare science, knowledge, communication, and so on. And then another paper was published with more data, but practically with the same idea in Nature Medicine in 2021. And if we look at the healthcare benefits, these are just 3 examples what we usually project. That also shows that this program applies not only for the high-fly university centers, because the 3 examples are actually coming from hospitals. I mean, fellows coming here from hospitals and doing research with us, and then translating that and actually using that with their tutors and supervisors and bosses actually in the real clinical environment. So one of these examples is the collaboration of Professor Hegyi, still back in Pécs, about the use of antibiotics in acute pancreatitis. And then what they figured out doing not only meta-analysis, but then stepping forward in clinical registries and then in randomized clinical trials, is that they were able to decrease the use of antibiotics by 31%. I said, this is a lot of money. I mean, this is a very expensive stuff. And then actually also they get actually better clinical outcomes with the patients. So this is a direct translation. So one example. Another example, which is actually initiated in Hempán Hospital. We have quite a few fellows from that direction. And then they has been a kind of not only local center, but that is widening about children with cystic fibrosis, as that they actually, through meta-analysis, through clinical registries, through kind of observational studies, that they figured out that the identification of diabetes mellitus is very important to do that much earlier than the general guidelines say. And the general guideline says that it should be at the age of 10. And it appears that in very young children or who have CF, cystic fibrosis, the disease sets on actually in very early age. And this is not only quality of life, but survival also for these children. And since luckily the treatment options, possibilities, and actually success is much better for cystic fibrosis than before. So if they get the right treatment, I mean, these children actually could survive or even grow up to adults. So this is a very important thing. And I would say that this project, which initiated with some meta-analysis actually, right now in a real, very massive clinical messages, not only papers, but also practice. And then this is actually a pretty new one from Bajcsi Hospital, when we get colleagues from there, both the tutor and the fellow. And then what they did is that the cholecystoma surgeries, and then they figured out the best way for doing this. And then, therefore, actually, in their own experience, the recurrence rate already decreased by 13%. But I could actually list many others. Yesterday, actually, in both groups, we saw quite a few examples that what we do is not only meta-analysis, but as a next step, I mean, what we learned from that is actually clinical trials, clinical registries, and thinking many things over which we couldn't do this before. If you look at the academic facts here, I mean, this is actually your progress, year 2 student progress, that we started with 91 fellows in 2021. Right now, we are at the end of phase 6. I mean, the last progress report, we had 77 fellows. So that means that 14 dropped out. There is a small decrease by now, too. I mean, some fellows just could not keep up. But most of you are actually very successful. Very successful in the sense that what we expected is not only that you learn, and then, I mean, different skills, but also at the same time, learning by doing, I mean doing the publications. So there are quite a few fellows who are actually very well advanced on this. And the minimum requirement, and I'm also telling this to the committees, so that's important, and that actually exceeds the university general expectance, that only those could pass this complex exam who have at least one submitted paper. No matter that was rejected and then they have to redo or whatever, but this is the minimum requirement. And then this paper should have been submitted at least to a Q1 level journal and preferably actually a D1 level journal. And this is working out quite well. I mean, right now, this is your group. We already have a lot of publication which appeared actually, 16 in D1 journals and an additional 21 which is in Q1. And then many more are actually out of the 181 projects which the 77 students actually run, is already at the phase of in the already submitted phase. And I think this is a great achievement, especially because we don't go down. I mean, we go up. I mean, we go to high-level journals, and then we really want to do something useful for the scientific community, and at the end also for the whole community too. But I have to say that in advance, although as it appears that I also have to be in the anesthesiology committee since Professor Zima is not able to come, at least not now. But I have to congratulate you. I mean, this is a great achievement together. And then if we look at individual kind of highest impact papers, maybe not the most valuable. I mean, so these are highly valuable, of course. But maybe some papers have lower impact factor, but actually explode his or her kind of all research fields. So this, the future will show. But in terms of the present measures, these are some of the top publications which are coming out actually from the year 2 student group. And the average impact factor of papers must be published. This kind of 40-something paper is 4.9. And then these are some of the fellows that whose faces showed. One did not give a consent, actually, to show the face. This is, I would say, his or her right, because we don't reveal that who is this person. We are just very sorry, because I think what we do is that we really want to serve the society, and then we should be proud to be on this project. And also, I mean, this person is excellent. I mean, already had more than 2 publications appeared in journals. So if that comes together with FACE, I think that's good for the fellow partners, anyway. But again, people have rights. Here they have rights too. So we just saw the faces of all the other ones. I hope nobody will say that, well, I mean, my picture should not be there. I mean, these people already published 2 papers. I mean, what we see here, actually, again, in high-level journals. Of course, those who have kind of an advancement in their research, but not at this stage, I mean, I have to say that everybody achieved quite well who is still here from your year 2 group. And then we will see what happens in the future. I mean, one of the fellows actually complained a couple of months ago that he already had so many work and then doesn't have a paper actually appeared. And then, since then, actually 1 D1 paper appeared, and then 2 other ones are going on. So I think that's fine if somebody is not kind of, I just say that, feel that this is the time for relaxing. This is just time to speed up, actually, in your research career. Of course, I mean, most of you do the residency program and the clinical part, so that's very important that what you learn with us, actually, you can implement over there, both in terms of scientific achievement and also by terms of applications. this is an innovation. I don't know who did it, maybe Peter Hegyi, actually. I mean, he does lots of innovation. First one question, first two questions, first and third question. I mean, 3 questions means 1 bottle of wine. So we keep this good tradition. Bad news for the committees that they will not get any wine, but the students could. Actually, maybe this is unfair. Maybe the committee members should also get this. These are good quality wines, but what is more important, that so the whole program is in English, but most of the students are Hungarian. Not all. I mean, luckily we have quite a few international students, but culture and science should be changed. And this is actually, you are the one who change it. So not only concentrating on your own research and understanding your own immediate task, but also actually contributing to others. And then when you ask questions, the question is not about that why are you so stupid? I mean, doing this and this, because everybody knows that this is not true. But instead, I mean, asking actually questions which support the other to progress, even if something is wrong. I mean, actually, that's very fine, I mean, to ask questions. Don't be afraid, as we said before, don't be afraid of asking stupid questions. I ask many stupid questions. This is the way as science progresses. I mean, there are a number of not that good questions, and there are some ones which just turn on the light, I have to say. And then if you look at, and it may also turn on the light in your own brain too. Anyway, so this is what is happening. Hopefully we will give out many wines. I mean that the cards are handled by the supporting SMSs here. And then I also asked actually the committees to support this by letting the fellows to ask questions, because this is a very important part of this meeting. Thank you for your achievements up till now. As we looked from Center of Translational Medicine in advance the achievements, I mean, you shouldn't worry. You shouldn't worry, but do your best actually to show actually that the committees that how good you are, and you are good. So I'm very happy to be involved in this program, and so just go ahead. Okay, thank you.